Okay, so now continuing with our game development, this is video number 8 for Hyperactive Studios. My name is Nate Nestler, and we're continuing on with our Python game here for D&D. Alright, so we left off with the player class last video. Now let's start going over the enemy base class and then each additional enemy that we're going to base off of this class. So one of the cool things we can do with these class objects is that we can define what is called a base class, and then with that base class, we can then extend it for each additional class coming off it, meaning that we don't have to reinvent the wheel every time we make a class. Instead, we just define base functionality that would be used across all the different classes, and then we don't have to type all that again. We just add on to it in the next class, and we're good to go. So let's define our base class. It's just like the player class. We're going to define a base class. And you may notice a lot of similarities here. And of course, the reason why is because, well, an enemy is pretty close to, has the same abilities a player has for the most part. It needs to have a life, a digital life. Maybe not a real life, but a digital one. Of course, we're doing our initialization method here. We call functions inside of a class, we call them methods. They get a new name. That way you can differentiate between whether or not it's inside of a class or not in a class. So variables are called properties inside of classes, and functions are called methods. But anyways, we're passing in our self. And then we're referring to ourselves, and we're saying self.life equals 30. So the enemy has 30 life. Life upper limit is 75. Life lower limit is 25. You might be going, well, why do we have upper and lower limits in the life? Well, this is because we want to have different enemies of different toughness that we fight. So that way we have different levels of how much life they have, and also how much damage they can do. So by mixing it up, really the enemies can be varied, and it's not like you're fighting the same enemy over and over and over and over again. That's kind of boring. So what we want to do is mix things up and make things a little more interesting. So we have self.life upper limit here equals 75, and then the lower limit here is 25. And then self.damage equals 15. Self.damage upper limit equals 50. Self.damage lower limit equals 0. Self.name equals in quotes. Now we don't know what the name of our enemy is going to be, so we need to leave that open so that we can assign different names to them. And then taunts. What kind of taunts is the enemy going to do? Because they could taunt the player. So we need to determine damage. So self.damage equals random.int. Here, self-damage lower limit and upper limit, just like we did on the player character. We need to determine life. Randomly issue how much life the enemy has for the upper and lower limits. Taunt. Between 0 and however many taunts they have. So in a range. And then we get back what taunt it's going to be from there. So that's pretty cool. Let's see here. And then we have self life in, so we can set how much life, self life for get life, return how much life the enemy has. We have set life here upper limit, set the upper limit of life, get life upper limit and find out what it is, set life upper limit to set it, get life lower limit to get the lower limit. So we can set the upper and lower limits of our life and get the upper and lower limits. We can set damage, how much damage the enemy does. We can get the damage, so we can get how much damage the enemy does. Set the damage upper limit, like so. So this is all the same from the player character. So literally, for a good bit of this, you can copy and paste your code from the player character right in here and not have to rewrite a bunch of this. Just, find where their differences are and make the changes accordingly to the video here. Get damage upper limit, return self.damage upper limit, set damage lower limit. So we damage lower limit in here, self the damage here equals damage lower limit for that. So we get our upper and lower limits of our damage, and we can set our upper and lower limits of our damage with all these here. So it's all the same. So you can just about copy and paste between them and whatnot. It's pretty cool. All right, and let's start looking at each enemy from here. So now we're going to do the ogre class. Now we have to import enemy base class right here. And then we have to say enemy base class dot enemy base. The reason why is because the name of the file when we named it for our enemy was enemy base class. So that's what we have to import. And then the class inside of that file, enemy base class, was called EnemyBase. And we can see that again. So you notice that the file name is EnemyBase class right here, .py, and then our class is EnemyBase. So that's why we have to do our dot operators that way. So that way we say we have to import the file, not the name of the class, but do the file. So this way we're telling Python, hey, find this file in this folder with us. That's what this means. And then Python finds it, and then we have to refer to the different classes or methods or whatever inside the file. So we say EnemyBase class dot, and then the class EnemyBase. So we're passing this in. And when we pass this in to our class that we're defining it called ogre, when we pass this in, we're inheriting it. That means all that awesome stuff we just typed up over here in the EnemyBase class, it now exists inside of ogre. We don't have to type it up. So all that stuff we just typed, all that stuff, we don't have to type it again. Instead, we just import it more so, just like tack it on to our class, meaning that we don't have to type any of that stuff again. Now you might be going, well, wait a minute. You have initialize here, and inside that, for this class, yeah, we do. We need to initialize a class, so we have def here underscore int, and sorry, init underscore, and then we pass in ourself. And then remember that we inherited this base class, so we need to access this base class from our enemy base class. So enemy base class dot enemy base dot underscore init underscore self, passing ourself in. And so now we're accessing the class, the initialization class, from the original enemy base. And that's how we do that. And then inside of here now, we're going to modify it. So now when we say self.life lower limit, we're modifying the original, all this original variables that we inherited from EnemyBase. We're not defining new variables. Instead, we're modifying them. We're changing them. We're setting new values to them. So the life lower limit for this enemy can be different than for another enemy, for instance. So we're having our lower limit here be 15, and our life upper limit here equal to 45. And then damage lower limit still 0, which we didn't even have to define if we didn't want, but we put it in anyways. Self.damage upper limit equals 25. And this time now we're going to write over that name, which just a set of double quotes there with nothing in it. Now we're going to set the name. So this can be an ogre. So now we know that our ogre enemy is going to be called an ogre. And then self.taunts here. And remember we had our taunts there with the different, it was a list. So here we're going to define that list. So in brackets here we're saying the first taunt is going to be I will wear your skin as a coat, exclamation mark, close quotes, comma. It's a little bit morbid, but open quotes, hey, it's an ogre, what do you expect, right? Die human, exclamation mark, close quotes, comma, open quotes, I have children to feed and you are on the menu, dot, period, close quotes, comma, open quotes, I will crunch your bones, human, period, close quotes, comma, open quotes, come closer if you dare, dot, close quotes, and then close bracket because this ends our list. And now, when we do different taunts, it can randomly select these different taunts. Now, we don't have to go code that again, because remember, that code already exists in the original enemy base class when we defined it. So this is it. This is all we have to do for creating this ogre class, and the rest of its functionality comes to us automatically from the enemy base, and we don't have to reprogram it or redefine it. This makes creating new functionality much easier, because then we don't have to do a majority of the work. We only have to do like a small fraction of the work, and then we can extend, add on additional functionality, different features, different capabilities to our objects. And it makes life so much easier. Not to mention, now that I have this base all correct and all the same, That means every time I go to access one of these other objects, I get the same thing each time. And so when I'm coding with this, I don't have to worry about, hey, is this enemy going to be different? Oh, what was the thing for the dragon? It's totally different for the enemy than it is for the troll or whatever, for the way you code it. I don't have to worry about that. Since I did it as the EnemyBase class, all of them are identical. They're the same for the way it's defined. And so I'm just changing properties and different attributes of each one. And I don't have to remember every little detail of each class. Instead, I can just basically access it the same way I would from one enemy to the next enemy. And that means I can just use the same code, swapping between the different enemies, and I don't even have to write special code for each enemy. I can use one set of code to handle all the enemies, and then it gets really easy to code this. And not only do I get to code a lot less, it runs a lot faster, and then it's a lot easier to maintain an update. I want to add another enemy? No problem. I just extend it from the EnemyBase class, and bam, add it into the list of enemies, and it's good to go. All the code will automatically run and work properly for that enemy. I don't have to do anything. That's it. It's that simple. So, defining things out like this by inheritance and having a base class of this nature makes things so much easier. And you definitely want to do it this way. This is a much better way of programming, and it saves you so much time, so much headaches. Makes programming an absolute joy when you code this way, and keeps things really clean and really easy to work with and maintain and update and blah blah blah. Not only mention, I'm naming this stuff in a very easy to understand manner. I actually wrote this code like 2 years ago, and I haven't looked at it in 2 years. But just looking at the names, I instantly know exactly what I was doing and everything when I wrote the code. And I don't even have to think about it because I wrote things descriptively and because I put comments in. I didn't put many comments in, but still, I know exactly what's going on here. And so this makes for a nice little, think of the EnemyBase class as kind of like a template that we're using to make all the enemies from, more or less. And that's just how it's just really awesome. It just really makes life so much better and so much easier. All right, so that's the ogre class. We still got several more to choose from here. This isn't all. We got more than one enemy. So this is the ogre, but we also have several more enemies that we're going to have to do. So let's have a look at them now. Okay, so we just finished looking at the ogre class. Let's now look at extending out and creating a dragon class. Now you could pretty much copy and paste your ogre class from you wrote just before and paste it in here for doing your dragon, and then make changes like change it from ogre to dragon here. Of course, we're going to name it dragonclass.py just like we did ogreclass.py earlier for the other class. And then we have the same stuff here. This doesn't change. And then we're going to say life lower limit here is going to be 50. Its upper limit is going to be 200. Its damage lower limit is just going to be 0, and its damage upper limit is going to be 75. And then the dragon's name is going to be Dragon. As far as that goes for the name, we're going to set to Dragon, and then we're going to have different taunts like grrr and rar. So Dragon, I mean, what do you say, sound of flame shooting over your head by a near miss. Yeah, so there's the fire. It's not like you're going to have an in-depth conversation with this dragon. And then chomp sound as the dragon closes its mouth, imagining that you will. And let's finish this here. Taste like. Imagining what you'll taste like. There we go. Maybe you taste like chicken. I don't know. So we have a period here, close quotes, comma, a loud stamp or stomp of the dragon's foot. Period here, close quotes, comma. The dragon's tail swishes by your head with a near miss. Period. Quotes here, comma. The dragon flaps its wings with agitation. Period. Close quotes, close bracket. And that essentially is the different taunts for the dragon. And that covers the dragon class. So yeah, again, it gets really fast. See, now once you've written the ogre class, right, you can just copy and paste this in. Remember, Control C, Control V to paste that in. Copy, it's Control C, Control V, paste, and you just paste that code in. Make a few changes, bam, you're ready to go. You got an enemy made. You're ready to go on to the next one. So it's very, very cool. This is a text-based game, but you could extend this game later on into an actual graphical game, and you just add some more stuff to it. But this is the base core of what you need to have for a game, for how the game works and lays out and all this stuff. Cool, cool, cool. So that's our dragon, and let's now look at our next enemy. Okay, so we just finished with the dragon class, and now we're going to start doing our troll class. So our troll is pretty much the same as the other ones. Copy and paste your code from dragon or from the ogre, either one, that's fine. Rename the class to troll here, like so. And then we have our enemy base class here, same. We don't have to change anything. So your life lower limit is going to be 5. Your life upper limit is going to be 25. Your damage lower limit is going to be 0. Your damage upper limit is going to be 15. The name is going to be troll, like so, in there. And then we're going to start doing some taunts, like I will peel the flesh from your bones, exclamation mark, close quotes, comma, yikes. Die human, exclamation marks, comma. It's very much like the ogre, so I guess copy it from the ogre would be a little shorter for you. My grandmother is prettier than you. And he's got broken English, but you can say he's a troll. He doesn't even bother to say is. Close quotes, comma here. I am not sure I should eat you. You might taste funny. Period. He's picky eater, I guess. Come a little closer and taste my club. I'm sure it tastes like wood. Close quotes here. Close the bracket here. And there's your taunts. And so, bam, that's all you have to do for a troll. Nice and simple. You can change these up. You can add your own if you like. You can add more of them if you want. It really doesn't matter. Remember, we're doing it based on the length of how many items are in the taunts. So you can add more of them if you like. Go crazy. Have fun with it, Do whatever you like. It'd be awesome. So, and then we're just, modifying this, and then it's just going to work. All right? Very cool. Let's hit the next class here. After Troll, we got another one, and that'd be the Pissed Off Bunny. So let's do the Pissed Off Bunny next. Okay, we just finished the troll, and so now we're going to do the pissed off bunny. Now you just have to have a seemingly innocent little character in a game that looks like it couldn't hurt anything, and it's really honestly the most difficult to kill character of them all. So, that's the case of the pissed off bunny here. Maybe the pissed off bunny got upset that it wasn't getting lucky 4-leaf clovers to eat, and is having to eat 3-leaf clovers, and so now he's going to just take it on you. Maybe it's a demonic possessed bunny for whatever reason. So this is one bunny you don't want to cross, and so we need to make them. So copy and paste again from like troll or ogre or whatever, one of those other ones. Paste it in, and your life lower limit is going to be 100. Your life upper limit is going to be 500. Damage lower limit is 0. Damage upper limit is 150. And then the name. The name of this enemy is going to be Pissed Off Bunny. Yep, that way you know it's different than a regular bunny. This is a pissed off bunny. And then taunts. A cute little bunny hops around you. See, so you're not expecting anything. You're just not expecting this to be really dangerous. The bunny has demonic red eyes, though. That's not normal. Yeah, that's not good, right? Not good at all. The bunny twitches its ears at you. Yeah, it seems like a cute little bunny. How could that hurt you? You notice the bunny has a bit of blood at its mouth. That's odd. The bunny can't say anything, doesn't make noises, so, kind of like picking up on things. Maybe it's something right. The bunny eats some grass and stares at you. Yep, so maybe it liked taste of you better than the grass. And this is a bunny that likes blood. That's why it had the blood in its mouth. And the dragon's tail swishes at your head and near miss. Oh, that's not supposed to be in there. So, okay, so we left that in from before, apparently, and let's get rid of that. There we go. So eat some grass, and that's good to go right there. Let's save that, so we don't have it saying something about dragon tail with a bunny. That, apparently I copied and pasted it from the dragon. It's a bit of a problem there. Yeah, so don't put that in there. But, yeah, there we go. That covers it. Make sure there's no comma at the end of these sentences. It will be an error if you do, but, yeah. There's our pissed off bunny enemy, and it's now defined and it's ready to go. And so you see how easy it is to define whole new class objects through inheritance. Because once you have an inheritance set up, oh man, it just makes it so much easier to find whole new objects, whole new development in your game or other project. Maybe it's a business application, whatever it is. It makes things so much easier and so much better. New functionality is very easy to roll out and very quickly can be produced. So Very, very cool, and I hope you enjoyed this. Now we're going to do some more. This isn't it. We still have to do the game class, and we're going to start wrapping it all together. And then from there, we're going to start developing this thing further. I want to show you, this thing working from just a base setup, and then we can keep adding on from there. Or you can choose to add on more stuff of your own. Have fun, go crazy with it, enjoy yourself. Awesome. Okay, with that, my name is Nate Nessler, and this is for Hyperactive Studios. Thank you very much.